from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let us take one of the examples that is said. You want to share, for example, a feather. What does a feather mean? What does it symbolize? What qualities does it show? Can you?
Latif, lightness.
Latif, yes, the subtle, the gentle. What else? Lightness, lightweighted, like kind of no burden, following with the flow.
Yes.
What else?
Rauf.
Ra'uf,
Writing.
Latif, Ra'uf. And
Writing.
so,
Writing.
Oh, right.
of course, if we will open the feather and start to go deeper and deeper contemplating it, you will see the 99 names. If you open anything and look, you will see the 99 names. But those are the names that came right away. For you, for example, you said the light, no burden. So this is something your soul is needing, or your soul is unconsciously needing, or consciously needing. And so you need to look the Ra'uf, the gentle, the Latif. Those are the qualities you need to find, because how can your burden be lifted and become light? Only when you're aware, not with what feels like a burden, because that is the dimmed light, but when you become aware of the subtle things and the abundance of the gentleness around you. There is abundance of gentleness. When you become aware of that, you will be able to also uncover what the lesson behind that, what feels as a burden. And you will be able to, it will become light in what is it, whatever it is, in comparison to the infinite and the abundant that exists. It will become light when you compare it to that. When you compare your blessings to your whatever, your one hardship you have, or a couple of hardships, then you will see that. And that sheds a light on this also, to find the guidance, to find the strength, to find the wisdom, to find the way to deal with it. So that's one way. You can, what will a snake mean? You can look at the snake and see also, there is one exercise I did once with the beloveds. It was very, very beautiful. Take two things as very opposite, because the snake sometimes it instigates the fear and all of that. Take a snake and a tree and see the divine qualities within them, manifesting through them. See, for example, take the desert and the ocean. I did that before. Let us take the desert and the ocean. They seem opposite. But let us see, the desert, does it have water? Yes, deep inside it has bodies of water. But the sand is lifted. Allah is al-Khafid al-Rafi. Allah exalted the sand, the exalter appear in that physical manifestation, and He hid the water, lowered the water. He abased the water underneath. But in the ocean, it's the opposite. The water is elevated, exalted, raised, and the sand is underneath. There is justice. And then you can see, do you see the merciful through the desert? Yes, there are creatures living there. The desert is supporting life in its own way. Like there is snakes live in there is birds who learned, inspired by Allah, how to build their nests out of rocks. While the birds who live in the forest, they build their nest with leaves and tree branches or logs and things like that. But a bird lives here, and the bird can live there, So you see life, you see beauty, There are people who are fascinated about the desert. They go on trips in the desert. You see beauty in the ocean. Do you see might? A sandstorm can blind you. It can take your house away. And so is a tsunami. So you see the might and the strength. You can see the generous. Because again, there are wells and minerals in here. There is abundance of fish and creatures here and here. So you can go and contemplate Allah's names, beautiful names, through things that may appear opposites. Then there is no opposites when that happens. And then there is also, you start to see it's only a physical thing. Yes, it might survive longer, so we think it's a constant, and galaxies live millions or billions of light years, but they also collapse. They also vanish or transform into something else. And so is anything. And the desert is not the same. From instant to instant, the wind changes its shape, and so is the water. So nothing, actually, everything is always in motion. Is always in motion. And there is horizontal motion, and there is ascending motion, vertical motion, you can call it. The motion that is here, that nothing in physicality stays the same, it's always changing. And here, like the ascending motion, is that it goes it comes from Allah, goes to Allah. So there is continuous, the breath of the compassion, it's the breath of Allah. It is everything coming to existence, disappear, come, disappear. But because it is instant, you feel it is stable. You feel the desert is the same. You feel the water is the same. But as they say, you can't stay on the same water twice. So that is, it's always everything is in motion. Your body is in motion, but you don't realize it. Your body changes most of its cells. It shades, so you become another person in a year or so. Almost 90% of you is new cells. You have a new body, subhanAllah. And that is how we grow also, from being children to, teenagers, to adults, to old age, and we keep in this motion. Everything is in motion, and everything is changeable, except Allah is constant. The qualities, the divine qualities is constant. So shapes and expressions comes and go, but compassion is always here. Everything comes out of love and disappears in love also. The law in the universe, if you look, when we look at the physical, we call it gravity. But everything comes together, even stars and the galaxies, they come together and they birth into a new being, They give birth to stars. And so everything comes together. The electrons, the proton, the positron. The electron and the positron, when they come together, something else is created, gamma rays and things like that. So, but everything is attracted to something else. What is this attraction? When we see it in the physical, we call it gravity. And it perplexes the scientists. This gravity, they still can't figure it out. But we call it gravity. But everything is having the attraction to unite with something else. And why is that? Because those are mirrors of Allah. So you're attracted to everything because of the divine beauty, because you want to be with Allah. And it's a way that Allah shows love through that attraction, law of attraction. So you find the person and you're attracted to the person, whether for friendship or for marriage or for, parents are attracted to their children, unless things cover it up, but the essential law is the law of attraction, that we're attracted to the beauty of Allah. We want to be in union, we want to feel complete. And that is only can happen when you start to feel the fulfillment of being with the infinite and the everlasting and the beautiful qualities of Allah. Only when that becomes your witnessing, your experience in life, then the forms comes and go, appear and disappear, but Allah is always there. And that gives you the balance between being exciting in life, because life is about transformations, about the changes, about emotions, about action. Between being in that desiring and that behind it is a need to know the divine qualities, to express them, to feel them, to taste them. So there is a balance between that continuous movement that you feel stirred within your heart and soul and within your body and everything around you. There's balance between that and between feeling fulfillment. There is always something that fulfill your hunger and thirst. And I'm talking about the spiritual hunger, the emotional thirst. This is the balance between feeling fulfilled, because you're able to take what needs to be taken, that is everlasting and fulfilling. And you're letting go of the things that are changeable, because they keep changing. They keep disappearing and appearing, So there is that balance that we strive to. Is it easy? It becomes a little easier every step we take on trying to remember Allah, being conscious of Allah. What does it mean to remember? It means to become aware, because I tell you, remember so and so, you become aware. Remember CG, you are aware of him now, since I say remember. So with the practice of remembering, of dhikr, we become aware of Allah's presence. And that becomes the contentment that makes us feel content as we go through the motions, because the motions are steering. The motions are always steering us. So we did the pictures, and you can take your whatever shape came to you and contemplate it. Take away to contemplate. And it's the same thing, you can contemplate your dreams, the meaning of your dreams. Some dreams are you're just showing what is happening in the day or so. Some dreams are nightmares, they are stealing our fear, but those are from shaitan. Other dreams are genuine dreams that from Allah to give you guidance and insight. But even the dreams in which you are showing whatever happening, it's a way that in which your emotions are released. It's a mercy from Allah. But it has a meaning, so if you know the meaning of the images, the nonsense that you sometimes feel it's nonsense in the dreams, just as I look at you, I remember that art piece that we experienced. Because art has a meaning. We were in one Sufi school, and I was roommating with the beloved, and I was tired the first night. I slept peacefully, but next day she tells me she felt something in the room, and she was disturbed. There was some presence that was unpleasant, and she couldn't sleep. So, and I said, just recite Quran, do dhikr and things. And I usually don't direct myself to think about these things. It's better not to. And CJ himself told me that. Not call it for yourself. But she experienced it. So, and because she told me, now I'm going to experience it too. So at Khalwa night, and Sidi allowed me to go early, so I go before her to the room, and I feel not right. Try to sleep, no, and the fear is starting to get into me. There is something not right in the room. She's right, no. I feel that way because she told me that. Yeah. And okay, should I go out? I tried to go out, return back, feel the same. So I started to do intense prayer. I say, okay, what I'm going to do? I can't stay awake all night. So let me do dhikr, and calm down, and be with Allah. And if there is something, please Allah don't want it to hurt us, take it us away, show us what to do. And if it is from our mind and illusion and fear, then take that away also. Show us that everything is okay. So as I'm doing dhikr, I'm doing the dhikr, doing the dua. And so all of a sudden, it came to me, it is something in the painting. You see, I was having a back pain, so I slept on the ground and I let her sleep on the bed. And right there, the painting is a huge painting. And as I looked at the painting, I say, is this from my mind? If it's true, I look at the painting, and all of a sudden, this shape starts to appear out of it. It is not like ghosts, it's real energy, because everything is alive. It has a vibration. Colors are vibrations. Shapes are vibrations. Everything is a vibration. And it carries whatever in the soul of the artist. He did it. It's an abstract. It didn't have a particular thing. But the more I looked at it, the more I could see things, and it's dark things. It was coming to express some anger, some sorrow, I don't know. But I was like, okay, Allah, please, if it is from that, show us what to do. Sorry about that. So, when my roommate came, I said, listen, I got this inspiration. Maybe it is from it, so let us just take it away. And it's huge, we thought it would be so heavy, where to put it. Turned out to be canvas, so it was so light. So, and we turned it into this, and I don't remember, we covered it or something. And then we slept peacefully, alhamdulillah. But images have meaning, they carry our expression of art, words has power. Of course, nothing has power beyond Allah, but if we're not aware, we're bombarded with these energies. We're letting things push us here and there, they rub against us. But if we are with Allah, we're with the Master, with the Creator, not with the created. And the Creator has power over the created. So he can tell you what to do. Simply cover some painting up. So everything has a meaning, has a vibration, has a spirit, has some level of liveness in it. So these images that come to you, whether in sleep, in wakefulness, or in an exercise we did now, rather than by making it kind of rub against you or make you feel in a negative way, you can be with the Master and you have mastery over it. We're not supposed to let our body and emotions, there is something beyond all of that that can master that. That's the spirit from Allah. So rather by making our emotion take us, push us here and there, or our body push us here and there, or our mind push us here and there, be with the Creator, not with the created, and have mastery from the Master, the Creator himself. So we can have a few minutes if anyone has a comment to share or a question or anything you want to add. Thank you. Alhamdulillah. Thank you very much. Allah bless you.
Amany, I didn't quite understand when you were saying that Amana told you her fear in the dream, and that City told you don't take the, I didn't understand what you were saying, what City's guidance was about, when someone tells you a dream or something, not to take it on, or what does that mean?
Like, don't always be aware and expecting something not right or something fearful is going to happen or this creature is going to be, like, don't dwell in the fear. You can, yes, it may attack you all of a sudden, that's what happened, but don't dwell with it, just turn it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Don't call it upon yourself like I am going to, now I have ability to heal someone possessed or jinn or things like that. I asked Sidi, because I don't know, maybe some of you have witnessed him does this. And one time, so I asked, because it takes a lot of strength. It is not easy. And I asked him, like, how he could do it, how many times he did it. And he told me, I don't seek it. I don't like to do it, because it does take a lot of you. So don't seek it. Don't try to announce to people that I can do this or things like that. If it comes your way, then deal with it with the permission of Allah, with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let Allah deal with it. But don't try to always expect it, always think about it, tell people that you can do it and things like that. Like, it's better to leave it where it belongs. And, you know, it is good when you come to your house, you say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, even if the house has no one. Just to say the salam and to say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Try to remember that. Or, obviously, when you go to any other place, you know. Other comments or
So back at the story, you were saying your daughter is a journalist and she was looking things up on this young lady
Yes.
that committed suicide, but I don't think you finished the story or about what you got out of it when you read
no,
her.
the point, I'm not sharing the details about the story, I just wanted to make the point
The action.
that you're able now to look at the person in their whole life as much as we could gather about her, where you can see wonderful things she did and the suffering she went through. So you're not reducing her to one action. Like you saw her wearing weird or doing something you may consider crazy or singing a song maybe I don't like myself. But when I saw her, right away I felt empathy. I felt the mercy. And I felt, wow, I have to be careful not to be judgmental due to outer appearance or even due to one action that I see the person is doing and in my view is wrong. Because you reduce the person to that, and the person is much more. The person is not one action. The person is years of, full of actions. Do you know all the actions of any single person? No, you can't possibly even remember your own actions or know all of them or be aware of all of them. So how can we be aware of the actions of one person, all their actions, to really be judging them, judging their character or their person or their fate? We don't know. It's up to Allah. We cannot judge. And the more you know about the person and about yourself, again, as the point I was making, showing at least some of the mistakes you are aware of, some of the shortcomings you're aware of, some of your imperfection, and then you see also with your beauty and point of strength that Allah gifted you with. The more you see this, then you see everyone an image of you, a bundle of this and that. We are all a bundle of this and that. This is the fate of the human being, to be part of this and that. And that's what makes us unique, because the angels, any other creature don't have free will. The angels don't have free will. The jinn have, and the shaitan despaired from, So, we're the only ones that can know Allah better than this creature, because we can know forgiveness. A very profound aspect or quality, divine quality, that only the human being is capable of knowing because of his free will that makes him do wrong. So when you have this understanding of yourself, you form that empathy. You become like the Prophet ﷺ. That's what we aspire for. You become mercy for everyone. rather than judging, you become more empathetic. It doesn't mean you don't see the wrong. It doesn't mean you want to try to correct it if you could, in the right, wise, gentle, compassionate way, or at times a strong way. But it doesn't make you judge the character of the whole person or have no empathy at all, like coming from that place. That's why Ali, the companion of the Prophet, when he was fighting the man for the right cause, is different than he is fighting from his own ego. In one, when you're fighting for the right cause, you're fighting for the well-being of the person. It's coming out of love, it is not void of love. But when you are with the ego, then you want it for yourself. You wanted to have control over the person, you want to have, you're judging the person, you want to have authority and to control things and to possess the person and to be the better, I'm better. But when you are in love with someone, then it is coming out of love that you talk them out of something, you see? Like if you love your child and you see your child going to do something harmful for himself, like your toddler, for example, going to touch the electricity or put their hand in the fire because they have no understanding. I mean, even if you yell at them to stop, like stop, you know, even if you're doing that, which might appear to them that you're yelling, you're shouting, or you're depriving them of their freedom or whatever, but you're coming out of love and sincerity for the well-being of the person, not for yourself. So that is the love of Allah for us, comes that way. So even if Allah talk to us harshly in the Quran, some people say, it is like a parent when they talking the child out of something that is gonna burn them, it's gonna be harmful for them. So it's coming out of that type of love for the well-being of the person. Not that Allah will gain anything of it. He actually wants our well-being because He loves us. So that is the ayat in the Quran that speaks strongly. It warns us. It wants to talk us out of this ignorance and this kind of that causes us harm. So Allah talks us out of it. And so if you are with Allah, we aspire to be like the Prophet ﷺ. We're coming out of that love and mercy, and we want the well-being of the person rather than it is for ourselves because of personal gain. So that is the difference. Subtle, fine line. Yes.
You mentioned that, like the roses are red because of the vibration, and it seems like we each have our different vibrations. Are those set at birth, and can they be changed?
They are changing all of the time because we are like in continuous change.
I mean, like,
and that's why some people meet and they kind of click or kind of understand one another. They say they met at heaven before, but they met in that level, which in the physical way we can't comprehend it, but they met in that level of vibration, in that spiritual realm. They met, so their understanding is in harmony, their attitude in harmony, and so forth, their attraction. But we learn also through the repulsion. We didn't meet at heaven, so we feel alienated from one another. And in that there is learning too, because we are for union, we're not for separation. So that painful alienation from one another is meant to help us yearn for that union through Allah. He unites us. So Allah says in the Quran that He created us into nations and tribes in order to know one another. Then we enjoy that, because we're meant not to be alienated because we're different. It is in this diversity that we can know. And he also says they will continue to dispute with one another or differ with one another, except those who have mercy from Allah. Those who have mercy is able to see the deeper layers and learn from what is different than them and be with what is made them in that vibration, kind of. So I think it is, maybe there is a part of it that is eternal, that is the spirit from Allah, that is the pure consciousness that we can't name or figure it out what it is, the soul, the spirit. But here in its expression in life, it's changeable vibrations, depending on the emotions, on the experience we're going through, on the growing we're going through. It's always in motion, it's always an expression. So it's changeable here, but one aspect of it remains, with Allah, from Allah.
Then Larry uses a word that makes me content, and that word is inviolable. He writes that the real self is known only to you and to God, and it's inviolable.
What does inviolable mean?
Nobody can violate that part.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Because
what
you're
it is to me.
innate nature, your
It
very
can't be
spirit.
changed.
Yes. Mhm.
That's right. It's forever.
Yes. Alhamdulillah, it's 4:15. So, thank you very much, and inshallah, hope to see you tomorrow. If I don't see tomorrow, Allah bless you, and inshallah we meet again. Inshallah. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.